So activity 5 is called Creative Carousel, and this is slightly different from the others because it's got a series of possible activities. So you might choose to do one of them, or you might choose to do a couple of them. It's really for you to think about which ones would work best for you, or which ones you feel comfortable with sometimes. So at the centre of this activity is objects displayed on a table, so a little bit like show and tell, which you can gather yourself, or also maybe get members of your group to help bring things along. You can do both of those things, which is often what I do. And the idea is that these activities that we suggest here are ways for you to creatively explore different ways of thinking about objects, different ways of getting stories. It's almost like lateral thinking, and you're coming at it from a slightly different angle. And you have to be open to the possibility that some of these might not work. It's a little bit more experimental, but when they do, you get such wonderful kind of different insights here. So it's really great activity. So they can be a lot of fun. So you could, therefore, if you're looking at fun ways to kind of build rapport within a group, then you could use them with a newish group. But you might also think that it's good to do it with an established group so they have the trust and the confidence to try something new. So maybe people would feel more confident than sharing, kind of a different creative output. So that's really for you to think about. And I think I've seen it work well with both types. So really have a think about what would work well for you. And from the group of objects you have on the table, there's a series of different suggested activities. So again, it really is for you to think about what you think will work with the group you've got. So for example, one's a memory type game where people look at the objects and you take one away and you see if people know what's missing. And that can be a really good basis for a discussion about what makes some objects more memorable. Why do we remember some things more than others? And it can be a really interesting discussion, that. You could also do kind of storytelling from the object's perspective or from the perspective of an alien. And actually, these can be really interesting, different ways of thinking about things and of developing stories. Or you can get a series of objects and tell people they've got to either tell a story that involves them all or say what they think associates those objects. And it's a really different way of thinking about it. Sometimes then you will get people's personal stories, but sometimes you just get a different way in which objects spark stories and memories. It can be a really interesting way to establish kind of creative or communal ways of thinking. You could also do that as a communal project rather than individuals responding to a series of objects. So these are just a few suggestions, but there's loads more possibilities. And I think what's nice about this one is that this is a chance to get really creative with things, and it's really enjoyable to do, but it might be one that you do once you've already done a couple of the more straightforward ones and you feel confident, okay, I know how these activities are going to work, and then this activity is probably the one for you.